What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the fourth studio album by Canadian singer, songwriter, electronic musician Grimes, aka Claire Boucher? I'm not sure, her fans are gonna get mad in the comments either way, so why not butcher it now? Grimes has put out some weird music in the past. I mean, her first two albums, for me, were just hard to get into, but I understood why people would like it. It wasn't until 2012's Visions that I really started understanding why the critics were throwing all of the praise at this young rising star. With Art Angels, she's kind of moved away from some of the oddball aspects, not saying that they're not there, because did you even listen to the track Scream featuring Did you even listen to the track with Aristophanes? I didn't think so. There's definitely some weird moments here, but I'm just saying she's toned it back for more of a pop-friendly sound. Totally okay with that, but I just didn't expect it. It caught me off guard, especially whenever I heard the second track. We come out of this intro track laughing and not being normal, and then we go into this sunny track called California, which is much more of a foray into the world of synth pop. And really, throughout this album, I'm seeing so many melodies, so many sunshiny and bright moments that I just didn't expect, but the more and more I listen to it, the more it clicks with me. Now, it's not firing on all cylinders all album long. In fact, there's some songs that just feel absolutely painful to me. Cannot stand the track Venus Flytrap with Janelle Monáe. She's had some great features this year. She was on Pressure Off on Duran Duran's newest record. But here, it just sounds like, I don't know, a mix of like Icona Pop and Charlie XCX over this weird dub beat, and it just doesn't fit. Like, is this meant to be played at the club or at a hipster coffee house? There's a re-recorded version of the song REALiTi that appears on this record. You might remember the demo version was released earlier in 2015, kind of as a thank you for fans for waiting so long for new music and that sort of thing, kind of to tide them over. I absolutely loved that song in its demo form. There were so many amazing and intricate parts of it. Critics and fans alike just basically teamed up and said yes to this song. And on the re-recorded album version, I'm just saying, what happened? Why couldn't we just put the demo version on there? I get it, maybe it wasn't mastered, it wasn't perfected, but that's what made it great. There were so many, I don't know, little things that just made it a perfect song for me, even though it was meant to be imperfect. Now, on this album version, it just feels like it tried so hard. They threw in some extra instrumentation, some extra vocal things going on with like a little sample here and there, and it just made the song feel flat to me. Fortunately, there's a lot of great moments on this record that make me forget about those moments because they're few and far between. There's a few tracks that I'm just totally indifferent on, like Belly of the Beat, but then we go hard on tracks like Kill versus Maim, or Kill v Maim, if we're getting all Batman v Superman on everything. Kill v Maim is one of the most exciting tracks that I've ever heard from Grimes. It sounds like it belongs in a video game soundtrack, or at least in the trailer for something big, and I just love the way that it builds up. The hook on this thing, I thought originally that it was saying, I know it's saying don't be hateful or whatever the technical lyrics are, but I thought it was saying unload the A-bomb. And that made the song so much more big and grandiose to me, and I like to still pretend that those are the actual lyrics. Unload the A-bomb. Doesn't that work better? Things come together perfectly on a track later in this track listing, which is easily one of my favorite songs on the record. It just has these kind of building keys, and Grimes feels much more relaxed in the vocal department, but at the same time, I feel like we see a different side of her, maybe a little bit more vulnerable, emotionally at least, and I like to see that side of Claire. And then we get the build-up, of course, and then just kind of get this squeaky drop that sounds awesome. It sounds fantastic. It reminds me a little bit of something like Melanie Martinez's track, which was called Soap, off of that album that dropped in August, and I just thought that that was a very unique beat, and this is something that doesn't sound identical to it by any means. It just definitely reminded me of it. The first couple of listens, I had to process it. I didn't exactly know how I felt about it, but now I can't help but kind of move to the music. Every time I want to turn it up so loud. It's just one of the best moments on the record for me. If you're interested in sequels, definitely check out World Princess Part 2. It's not exactly charming my socks off by any means, but it's impressive in its own right. And then we get an awesome closer in the form of Butterfly, which I really started enjoying once I dug into the lyrical content. It's a little bit slower paced than maybe what I was expecting for a closer. I was initially hoping that she would go out on a little bit more of an energetic note after Life in the Vivid Dream, just a little short go-between track that we got with the lead single Flesh Without Blood. But Butterfly actually turned out to be beautiful. Now, I mentioned Flesh Without Blood, that was the lead single from this thing, and that's what made me think, yeah, Grimes is pretty much going into more of a radio-friendly pop style. And I think that's definitely a good bridge. It's not the poppiest thing on this record, but at the same time, it's still got elements of early Grimes work that will make fans happy, I think. The title track is pretty assertive as well. Art Angels just comes in with more guitars than I was expecting. I don't know, almost feeling a little bit like LaRue and some other 80s synth pop and dance music to me, and that's not a bad thing. It just definitely feels like almost like cruising on the highway type music, and not something that I ever would have expected to be saying about a Grimes song, but that's just how it makes me feel. I feel similar about the track Pin that comes later in this track listing. Not quite as dominant, I guess, of a presence on the track listing, but at the same time still a very entertaining tune. Overall on this thing, I think there's some fantastic songs here. There's some that I just feel like are maybe just a little bit fluff, like they're just there and they don't really move me one way or the other, and there's a couple that just are a bit off-putting to me. But I think it's a worthwhile listen, guys. Honestly, I know there was a lot of you guys that were really anticipating this review. There's a lot of super positive reviews, and then there's a few who just absolutely hated it, but I feel like I'm teetering towards the more liking and coming around on it type feel. I'm hopping on that bandwagon, and I'm gonna go with a 3.5 for Art Angels by Grimes. If you've listened to Art Angels by Grimes, let me know your thoughts on it down below, and maybe while you're at it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. If you like, you can click right here, go over to my second channel. I'm making lots of content over there. I put up a lot of track reviews last week. Click away, or you can click right over here to just see the last review that I did right here on this channel. Thanks so much for watching. If there's other albums you would like to see me tackle, let me know about them. I hope you guys enjoyed my Grimes review. Let me know your thoughts on it, of course, down below. Anything that I can do to maybe change things up with ARTV, anything I'm not doing that you guys would like to see me do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys very soon.